Prime Video seems to have a thing for NATO drama lately. In less than 6 months, we've seen 2 films where NATO is targeted by terrorists. First G20, and now Heads of State. But unlike G20, which tried to be a serious action thriller and failed, Heads of State embraces the chaos with humor and charisma. It doesn't take itself seriously, and that's what makes it work. This might be my favorite John Cena movie to date. Cena plays a new, inexperienced US president, and the film smartly doesn't force him into the usual stiff, stoic role. He's not delivering heavy monologues or trying to win policy debates. Instead, he just gets to be himself. His character, Will Derringer, has a background as a famous movie star with a string of classic action films and even a Golden Globe-winning drama under his belt. Now you decide which part is harder to believe. Cena as US president, his Golden Globe win, Air Force One getting hijacked by a rogue chef, or an entire NATO meeting being attacked. If you're watching this film expecting a tight political thriller, you'll be disappointed. The story absolutely takes a backseat to the comedy. But I wasn't looking for high cinema, I just wanted to be entertained. And the movie delivered. The chemistry between John Cena and Idris Elba is easily the highlight. Elba plays Sam Clarke, the British Prime Minister who's been in office for 6 years. He roasts Cena's character constantly for being a rookie. Meanwhile, Derringer is determined to earn Sam's respect and prove he's more than just a celebrity in office. The concept itself is unique. The President of the United States and the Prime Minister of the UK meet for a joint press conference to announce a new energy treaty. Behind the scenes, they can't stand each other, but in front of the media, they pretend to be close allies. During the conference, their professional rivalry starts to show, especially when asked about a failed joint covert operation in Spain, which cost both countries their top agents. To do some damage control, they agree to fly together on Air Force One. But then the plane is hijacked by a chef, of all people, and crashes. Both leaders survive but find themselves stranded in Belarus. With their security compromised and Echelon, the US's top-secret surveillance system, in the hands of terrorists, they're on their own. What they don't know yet is that Echelon can track them wherever they go.
Despite the stakes, the movie stays light, fast-paced, and fun, leaning heavily on the comedy and the star power of its leads. It's not meant to be taken seriously, and that's exactly why it works. When it comes to the story, Heads of State keeps it basic and predictable. But for a movie like this, that's not a deal-breaker. It's designed to be a fun ride. You're not supposed to overthink it. Just sit back and enjoy the chaos. Will Derringer, John Cena, is portrayed as a family man and an optimistic leader who believes in offering hope. He constantly references his past movies during interviews and speeches, which makes sense considering his history as a celebrity. That fame makes him one of the most popular world leaders. Sam Clarke, on the other hand, is a serious, no-nonsense politician who's been in the game for 6 years. He doesn't respect Derringer and thinks he's unfit for office, believing Will knows nothing about real-world problems or how to solve them. When these two are forced to team up to survive, their chemistry becomes the backbone of the film. Their constant arguments about their backgrounds, ideologies, and whose country does it better are where the movie shines. It's filled with sharp banter and comedic clashes. Viktor Gradov makes a strong first impression as the villain. In his opening scenes, he looks truly menacing and commanding. But as the movie shifts its focus to the comedic duo, his character gets sidelined and underutilized. Noelle Bissette, Priyanka Jonas, an MI6 agent who's been hunting Victor for years, doesn't leave a lasting impression. Her character lacks depth and impact, and even when her story reaches a turning point, it doesn't carry much weight. The ending wraps up decently, though it doesn't hit as hard as expected. The direction and editing are sharp, giving the film style and energy. Visually, the movie looks impressive with solid VFX and a polished finish that gives it a big-budget feel. However, the action scenes, especially those involving Priyanka, make it obvious that a stunt double is doing most of the heavy lifting. The indoor climax fight sequence especially highlights that. When the trailer dropped, it felt like Heads of State deserved a theatrical release. But after watching the full film, it's clear this was made for streaming. It's entertaining, but as a full package, it doesn't quite rise to the level of a must-see theatrical event.
Two casting choices in Heads of State really stood out to me, one in a surprising way, and the other in a completely scene-stealing way. The first was Victor Gradoff, played by Paddy Considine. I've watched Considine in plenty of films and shows, and while he can slip into almost any role, he truly excels as a villain. He has that perfect mix of quiet menace, piercing eyes, and a steady, commanding presence that makes you lean in whenever he's on screen. The film gave his character a believable backstory and a strong motive: revenge against NATO, the UK, and the US. In a different movie, that setup could have fueled a much darker, emotionally driven story. But because Heads of State leaned heavily into comedy, that darker thread was mostly brushed aside. It felt like the film introduced a powerful antagonist, but then dialed him down halfway through. A more emotionally charged final showdown would have given his arc more weight, but clearly the movie wasn't going for grit. The second surprise was Jack Quaid as Marty Comer. Honestly, I didn't even know he was in the film, so when he popped up, it was a total shock. He starts off as a goofy station agent, the kind of side character you expect to fade into the background. Instead, he completely stole the spotlight. Quaid's performance brought the most unpredictable and unhinged energy to the movie. From his ridiculous one-liners to an unexpectedly fun action sequence, not John Wick level, but still entertaining, he nailed every beat. Watching his character shift from awkward to oddly badass was such a treat. As for the leads, Idris Elba and Cena carried the film with their chemistry. Their banter, their clashing personalities, even their quieter interactions, it all clicked. Cena's take on a clueless rookie president is laugh-out-loud funny, especially when paired with Idris Elba's no-nonsense veteran leader. Together, they make even the slower parts of the movie worth watching. On the flip side, I expected more from Priyanka Chopra Jonas. As an Indian viewer, seeing her in a big project like this was exciting. She looked fantastic, and her styling was on point. But the character itself didn't resonate. Her arc felt flat, and even her action sequences lacked impact. It wasn't terrible, but it didn't leave much of an impression either.
Heads of State is exactly the kind of movie you put on when you just want to kick back and have a good time. It's loaded with quick one-liners, over-the-top situations, and a chemistry between Idris Elba and Cena that really drives the whole story. Idris's sharp comebacks land perfectly, while Cena's wide-eyed rookie take on the US president adds a steady stream of laughs. The action is playful but still exciting, from chaotic plane sequences to wild card chases and even a car theft scene, all wrapped with a comedic twist. It's not the kind of action that leaves you breathless, but it's definitely entertaining and stylish to watch. At its heart, though, the movie works because of the Elba-Cena partnership. Their constant back and forth is the backbone of the film, giving it rhythm and spark. Together, they balance the humor and the action, making even the lighter moments enjoyable. Overall, Heads of State is packed with laughs, energy, and just enough action to keep you hooked until the very end. It's not a gritty thriller, and it's not trying to be. It's pure fun, and it delivers exactly that.